Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, November the 4th, 2022. Time is flying. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with Damon the Agent. This is episode 34, and today we're going to be talking about ARMs. That means adjustable rate mortgages. And I'm going to, talk slightly about gun violence, just my opinion on what's going on in the world today. But like always, let me begin my podcast by thanking each and every one of you all for coming on and sharing your time with me. Please don't forget to follow all the links below. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, along with did I leave everything up? Nope, I got everything there. So let's begin. So I always like to talk about real estate to let you all know what's going on in the world of real estate today. So we're going to talk about adjustable rate mortgages. The reason why I want to talk about adjustable rate mortgages is because the interest rate went up a few days ago, 0.75. And as many of you know, throughout the year, the interest rate has constantly gone up and up and up. But guess what? People are still out here buying. So some people may say, well, how are people out here buying when the interest rate keeps going up? And one of the reasons is an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage. Let me first elaborate on the loan products. In the past, I've talked about the FHA loan, which is the Federal Housing Administration loan, which is the most popular loan used because the minimum payment is the least. It only requires 3.5% down. Then I also talked about a conventional loan, which you can put anywhere from 5% up to 20% down with a conventional loan. Now, it requires a little bit more down payment than the FHA loan, but the appraisal and everything is much more flexible as far as what's needed before a homeowner moves into their home. I've also briefly talked about the VA loan, which is a military affiliated loan in which there is no down payment. Most people who are affiliated with the military, or family members qualify for that loan. So here I'm going to talk about the adjustable rate mortgage because this loan was popular back before the housing market burst. And it is popular amongst a lot of people who plan on staying into a home short term, meaning they want to own a home, but they don't plan on staying in a home forever. So because it's not their forever home, a lot of people tend to use this because there are pros and cons with an adjustable rate mortgage. And a lot of times what a person has to do is really evaluate their own situation to see what will be best for them. Now, an adjustable rate mortgage, let me just go over some tidbits about it. An adjustable rate mortgage, is short and it is excuse my verbiage. I'm sorry about that. So hold on for 1 second. I had some notes right here that I wanted to go over. Okay. So an adjustable rate mortgage, let me explain to you how it works. An ARM, which is normally the term used for it, it usually has an initial fixed period. Normally 3, 5, 7 years are the most popular periods in which the interest rates adjust each year. After that, when this adjustment occurs, the principal interest of your loan is recalculated going forward. And you pay the new monthly payment based on the prevailing interest rate, which could be higher or lower than the initial rate. The following year, or possibly every 6 months, that's normally determined by the terms of the loan. So a lot of times in the beginning, the loan officers will explain to you what terms you are using for that rate. Now, the thing about the adjustable rate mortgage is the pros and cons are this. The pros are it comes with a lower interest rate. It gives you a lower monthly payment. You'll pay more in the interest over the life of the loan, but the lower initial payment, monthly payments, is what's worth it in many cases, especially if this is not your forever home, and especially if you have this rate locked in for a certain time period that you plan on owning the home. Like, for example, if you know you're going to be a homeowner for roughly 2 to 3 years, or stay in this house roughly 2 to 3 years, looking at an ARM may be what's best for you, because in many cases, some people end up purchasing a home, let's say, higher than one of their colleagues who earns roughly the same amount, but the colleague may go into the home with that being their forever home. This person say, I only want to own a home for a couple of years. Sometimes people look into that because you got to always look into the number. Now, one of the cons of an adjustable rate mortgage is if the rates go up, so does your monthly payment. And then ARMs typically have a limit on each reset. Reset meaning basically when you can, lock the rate in. There is a cap on how high the rate can go over the life of the loan. Since the average home is sold every 7 to 13 years, it makes sense for homeowners who have no plans to stay in their home much more than this time period to use an ARM or to at least consider it. I don't think a lot of times people consider ARMs is because people sometimes get caught up in what's going on in the media. And then also, like when you hear about the rates going up, just like we just heard this week, people get caught up with the rates going up, the rates going up. But what people haven't done is they haven't done their homework to see actually what will be their monthly payment using an ARM, and then what would be their monthly payment using an ARM, and then also how long they're going to be in the home compared to what would be their payment using such as a FHA or conventional loan. A lot of times what would be best for a person is to look at the numbers, write them down, speak with a lender, look at your situation and your plans and your goals. There have been many cases, like, for example, the higher the home loan is, in many cases, those interest rates are much lower than the traditional loans of the FHA and the conventional loans. Those interest rates for ARMs, for jumbo loans, they're much lower. And because the interest rate are much lower, those payments in some cases are equivalent on the higher loan to some of the people who are purchasing properties using the conventional FHA loan because of the interest rate. Because the bottom line always comes down to what is your monthly mortgage payment. So I think looking at that gives people more of an option when they hear about things such as the interest rate going up. Because guess what? People are still buying houses every day. So the market might have slowed down slightly. The interest rate might have gone up slightly, but people are still buying. You know why? Because people still have to buy and sell. People go through divorces, people go through relocating because of jobs, people go through needing more space, people go through needing to downsize because stairs, they can't get up the stairs. So because of these needs, it does not stop life. It's just like the world always keeps going around, but things do slow down sometimes. Just because things slow down doesn't mean to stop. Just like in traffic, you might be going 70 miles per hour and then you run into traffic. You slow down. You may slow down for a little while, but then after a while, when the traffic clears up, you pick up and you continue to move. And it's the same thing when it pertains to houses. People are buying houses every day. People, I always like to say this because I think people get so caught up on what they hear than really looking at their own personal situation. No matter where you are in life, no matter where you're going, there's always going to be people who are buying, sell real estate. So you need to explore all of the options when it pertains to financing for you. The traditional loans are FHA, conventional loans, VA loans, but there's also the ARM for the adjustable rate mortgage. Please take this into consideration when you are looking at homes and prices, because this may help you to get into the home by using an ARM instead of a fixed rate. So I wanted to go over that because of the fact is people were unaware of it. And I've been seeing some people really with the shifting in the market, with the shifting of the interest rate, I've been seeing some people who've actually been using adjustable rate mortgages to get into the home that they want. And then some of the people say, I only plan on keeping the home for about 3 to 5 years anyway. So keep that in mind. Now, understand that when you do sell your property, there may be a prepayment penalty. But again, you have to look at the terms of your loan. One of the biggest things that I see with a lot of people is many people do not read. And I learned a long time ago, if you want to hide anything from some people, put it in a book. And if you want to deceive some people, put it in writing, because many people don't read. This is why, and this is a little bit off subject. This is why so many people always wonder, how do all these people get their phone numbers? How are people calling me? And what they fail to realize is they didn't read the blueprint when they signed up for their cell phone, because I did. And one of the things that I read was, and I'm with Verizon. One of the things I read was they said they may sell your information to third party. And we all know that it's no may. They will sell your information to third parties. And those third parties pay for people's information. They pay for your name and stuff. This is how they sell products and everything. But a lot of people didn't read that disclosure when they were signing up for their cell phone, especially if it was the iPhone or something. Or they were just happy to get it. So they just hit agree, but they chose not to read. And because they didn't read, now they wonder how people got their phone number when it's a cell phone. That's how they got your cell phone, people, because it's in the disclosures. And again, when it pertains to anything, make sure that you read the blueprint and the fine print, because it will prevent a lot of heartaches and headaches for a lot of people. But when it also pertains to you purchasing a home, I just want you all to know that houses are still out here to be sold. People are still out here buying. People are exploring all of their options. Just know you are not limited as far as what you can do to get into a home. There are many resources to help you get into a home, regardless of what the rates are doing, regardless of what's going on. Trust and believe, there are always an option. When there's a will, there's a way. That's why you can have a co-worker who works on the same job just as you. You'll earn the same amount, and they live a totally different lifestyle from you. It's not that they have more. It's the fact that they have leverage, and they read, and they're really trying to maximize their earnings. And you can do the same. So again, please look at adjustable rate mortgages if you're still looking to buy a home and you feel as though you don't have any options, because the adjustable rate mortgage could help you in the process of lowering your payments to the point where you can afford that home. Because one thing that you always want to keep in mind is you marry the house, you date the rate. And the rate will always change regardless of what market we're in. And when the rate changes, what you're looking at is your monthly mortgage payment, because your monthly mortgage payment is going to be the deterring factor whether or not you can afford a home or not. Period. So it's just like, for example, if you could get $1 million home and only pay $1,000 mortgage, would you take it? Because some people are living in an apartment and paying $2,000 and $3,000 mortgage. So again, and I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen when it pertains to, let's say you really getting $1 million house and you really only paying $1 million mortgage. Because I'm sorry, not $1 million, $1,000 mortgage. I'm just using that for an example. If that was possible, would you do it? And the answer for most people would be yes. So what you're looking at is not how much the house costs. You're looking at your monthly mortgage payment. And that's one thing that people should focus on more so. People get caught up in, or this house costs this much, this house costs that much, when they really should be caught up on how much is their monthly mortgage payment. That is a deterring factor for a lot of people. People are focused on the wrong thing. And a lot of times, to help you get into that house of your dreams, is you getting that loan and using the flexibility of an adjustable rate mortgage. What's going on, Sonny? Yeah, so I just wanted to share that light with you all to help you all understand that there are many options out here when it pertains to owning a home. Adjustable rate mortgages is one of those things. But again, you have to read the fine print. You have to also look at the interest rate. You have to look at your monthly payment. You have to have a plan in place, because when you do not plan, and when you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. People don't realize that you plan to fail because you don't have a blueprint of where you're going or what you're doing. So I'm just here to help people when it pertains to that. So give me 1 second. Well, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you all being here. Like I said, when I first came on, I wanted to talk about the real estate aspect, which was the adjustable rate mortgage. But I also wanted to talk about, this gun violence that's going on in the world today. We're in the United States, but it is going on all over the world. I see so many things. I just think, and this is just my opinion, many people who know me from my younger days growing up know that know that I am out of four boys, I am the youngest. And out of being the youngest, I lost all three of my brothers. Two of my brothers I've lost to gun violence in Washington, D.C. Um, you know, I think about my brothers all the time. I think about what they went through. I always reflect on the memories we have. I always reflect on the things that they taught me. But I also think about, well, how my life would be if my brothers were still here. Many people have siblings. Many people have loved ones. Many people have, people in their life that they really love and care for. It's just so tragic that when you lose someone because somebody pulls a trigger. Anybody can pull a trigger. A baby can pull a trigger. Um, and I feel like so many people get guns and guns and guns and guns because of the evil and hate that they have in their heart of how they feel. So you have no regard for life. You don't care about anyone else. I feel like those people who don't care about anyone else, you need to really, you know what I'm saying, pull a gun on yourself for real. I mean, I don't condone gun violence. I don't condone any type of violence at all. I just think it's a tragic that we can't get along. We can't resolve things with each other to, come to a common ground. Yes, you're going to have dislike for people. You're going to have hate for people. You're not even going to like your own parents at times. You're not going to like your own children. You're not going to like your own siblings at times. But I don't think anyone has the right to take someone's life, especially when you didn't give a life. And even if you gave a life, you still don't have a right to take a life. I just think it's so unfortunate what's going on in the world with people getting angry. We see it with people are driving. We see people get into gun violence because of anger, because we can't resolve dispute, because we think that's going to mean something. And another thing people are not taking into consideration is before technology, before all these video cameras were everywhere, they were still solving crimes. So I don't know why people think they're going to do something, they're going to get away. Most people get caught. Majority of the people get caught. Doesn't matter where you are, even if it's later on down the line. But of course, you know what I'm saying? Me saying this is sometimes like talking to a wall, because some people hear, some people don't. But the people who need to hear it, they don't care until something happens to somebody they love. Now, when something happens to somebody that they love, then they want to be angry. Then they want to retaliate. But they never thought about that when they are toting a gun around. So the question I ask a lot of time is, why are you even carrying a gun around most of the time? When the Second Amendment was to the right to bear arms, that was really the right to bear arms when you were in the house, just in case an intruder came in there. But then it got to the point where people wanted the rights to bear arms when they're out and about, because many people couldn't fight. So they were scared because they were punks and they couldn't fight. So they want to bring a gun to a knife fight instead of fighting with a knife, or just instead of fighting, period. So a lot of people have gotten beat up, humiliated, hurt. And it's taken them to the point where they'd rather take somebody's life because of their humility and humiliation than to just let it go. Where have we come to in a world and a society that we live in? Where have we come to? Because right now, if we look at especially my race, Black people, we've killed more of each other than slavery has ever killed any Black Americans, or Black people, period. We've killed more of each other in this country with the gun violence ever since I've been on this earth. I remember there was a time in Fade in the 80s and late 80s, early 90s, and it was always the number of people that were killed throughout the country throughout the years. And the numbers haven't really gone down. And it's like thousands of people get killed every year due to gun violence. For what? And you have so many hurt mothers out there. You have so many hurt families. You have so many children without their fathers, and so many children without their mothers because of the fact they've been hurt, because someone's decided to take a life. Like, I saw a video this week, and this was in Jamaica. That's why when I just started talking about it, I said throughout the world. But it was a situation where a guy was recording his girlfriend. They were walking to the back of a room. And when they were walking to the back of the room, The guy he says something to her. She turns around. He has the gun and he just unloads the clips on her. He shoots her about 10 times. He shoots her about 10 times. Come to find out, the girl was his girlfriend who was pregnant, who was allegedly cheating with his father. But I'm like, dang, I mean, did you have to kill her? You know, like, is it that much hate within people that you have to kill someone? For what? Like, even in that situation with that young lady, okay, even if that situation was true and she was messing around on his father, why didn't he confront his father, for one? And then two, why would you kill her if she's supposed to have your baby? It's like so many people have so much anger within them that they don't really love themselves. And it's unfortunate because, when you don't have love for yourself and you don't have love for your family or anything, it's terrible. And a lot of people don't think about the consequences of their actions because it can come back on your family. Because I've seen so many terrible situations. I remember a young man down in Louisiana was beefing with some people, and the people came to his house, killed his grandparents, and set the house on fire, killed them with guns, and then set them on fire. So it's like people get so caught up in revenge and anger and taking people out that if we were to channel our minds towards growing, building, unity, loving, we can live in this world peacefully together, have a great outcome. But unfortunately, we have so many people who have so much hurt within them that they hurt other people, whether it's hurting them physically by killing them with guns or hurting their family. Because there's so many people, everybody knows somebody, everyone knows someone who has been killed through gun violence. And everybody knows somebody's mother who is hurting because they lost a child to gun violence. And everybody knows somebody who has kids who have grown up without one of their parents to gun violence. So I say that to say, like, when are people going to just stop? This is the sense that we're living in I guess we really are living in the last days, because you can't do nothing these days. A lot of rappers are being killed for, going all the way back before Tupac, was killed. It's like rappers are being killed for what? I mean, the people killing them is out of jealousy and envy, because sometimes it's just very senseless. You trying to rob people thinking they got money, and then and even if you get the money and stuff like that's not going to last. Like, I don't get it. The money you still ain't going to last. You're going to have to keep doing this over and over and over and over again until you get caught or until you get killed, because that's the revolving cycle of it. But people don't think about the consequences. People don't think about the end. People only think about now. And that's part of the problem. People want to retaliate if they get beat up with guns. People want to rob and still kill people with guns. People want to be jealous and envy of people and kill people with guns. It's like we are a gun society over here in the United States. And where's the leading people? I mean, it's like the Wild Wild West. That's what it's turning into, the Wild Wild West. It's unfortunate. I just think with the whole gun violence is just like right now, it's just a bad aura that's in the United States that's going on. I just wish, of course I'm just wishing, but I wish all guns would just disappear. The only time guns were ever used to kill, I wish they would just used to kill animals, or if somebody broke into your house, or if somebody was trying to rape a woman or something like that. That's the only time I would want guns to be used. Besides that, it's senseless. You know how many men have passed away that are dead, that had great minds, were great people for their family, great leaders of their family, no longer here? You know how many women have been killed through gun violence because of domestic violence? I mean, this society we live in, y'all, everybody, we got to change. We really got to change. We got to do something, because this is affecting too many families. It's affecting too many children. It's affecting too many people. So like I said, I've never, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like I said, I've lost 3 brothers, all 3 of my brothers, and 2 to gun violence. I don't condone gun violence at all. It's just terrible. I just say this to say that I think we all should pray, of course. We all, especially the people who got anger issues, you got to find an outlet. Whether it's going to play sports, punching a punching bag, working out, running, you got to find a way to channel that energy because it's going to destroy you and it's destroying others too, especially if you have a weapon on you and you choose to use it. So there's too many hurt families out here, y'all. Too many hurt people. People out here hurting each other. Every day there's something going on. Every day somebody's hurting because of all the gun violence that's going on in the world. Everybody knows somebody that's hurting. Everybody's been hurt by gun violence. Like I said, you see it all the time. You hear about it all the time. You look on social media, somebody lost their children now, what I'm saying today, all the time. Somebody lost their brother, somebody lost their uncle, somebody lost somebody close to them. Like I said, I've lost two brothers. It's just the fact that this gun violence today is just so senseless. Everybody, please put the weapons down. Please turn the guns over. Throw them in a river. Do something. You can't go around living your life in fear. You that fearful of going outside that you gotta have a gun on you? What are you fearful of? What do you think? You know what I'm saying? If you that living that life in fear, move somewhere. Because holding that gun is gonna lead you to one or two things. It's gonna lead you to death or in jail. Because if you use it on somebody, one or two things gonna happen to you. Somebody's gonna try to retaliate and come after you, or you're gonna end up in jail, or guess what? A stranger can kill you in road rage because karma does come back. Some people think they might shoot somebody and wear a mask and get away with it. No, karma is gonna get you. You're gonna die in a car accident or something. Somebody's gonna get you like a stranger in a road rage incident or something. It's called karma. You will never get away with it if you think you do. And people think they get away with all this stuff because they've gotten away with something. It's unfortunate. But again, I just pray for this country. I just pray for all the families. I just pray that people will, think twice before they react. I would pray that people would just let things go. I would just pray that people would think that other people have families that you all are hurting. Would you want somebody to hurt your mother? No. So why are you hurting other people's mothers? Because when you kill somebody, you're hurting people's mother. The mothers are in pain and suffering, and then sometimes those people you're killing have kids and they're in pain and suffering. But most people don't think about that because most people are selfish. This is a selfish country we live in, a selfish society we live in. Everybody's only out for what they can get. But I just say that to say that, I'm saying about the rapper Takeoff. He passed away and he was just standing there and he got shot 3 times in the arm, one in the torso, one in the head. Just being there at the wrong place, wrong time. I could never talk more about that because, like I said, I've lost 3 brothers to the gun violence. Lost one in 1990, September 10th, 1990. I lost one September 20th, 2003 to gun violence. So, again, every time I hear about it, it just does something to me. So I just wanted to shed some light on that please put down the guns, throw the guns away. Get some help for your anger, move, find an outlet, do something because people are hurting and you're hurting. And eventually it's going to come back to you one way or another. So again, let me do my quick recap because I had to cut this short today. I was talking about A.R.M's, adjustable rate mortgages. Adjustable rate mortgage is a good option if you're looking to lower your payments, but it also has the option where the rate adjusts, so you have to make sure that the terms that you fully understand so you won't get hit with any surprises. That's the con to it. The adjustable rate, meaning your mortgage payment can go up. The pro is you can get an extremely low payment, but it adjusts. So depending on how long you're going to be in a house is going to really determine if that is a good option for you. And I talked about gun violence. Please put down the weapons, everyone. We're losing way too many people. We got mothers crying every day. We got kids crying every day. People are hurting. All what? Because you can't settle a dispute. One way is to settle is to fight. But truth be told, most people can't fight these days. And even if they do get in a fight, if they lose, then they want to come back and retaliate with a gun. So find a way to just walk away so that you can see another day, so that the families can see another day. So many mothers hurting out here, y'all. Nobody's thinking about the mothers. Nobody's thinking about these kids. But I'm thinking about them. So Thank you all for coming to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with Damon, the agent. I will see you all next week. You all have a great weekend. And please go vote on Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up is election day. Please go vote. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all. You all have a great weekend.